give me 1 sec. I'm going to press play. So again, I just want to remind everyone from YouTube's mouth themselves, upon forwarding your counter notification to the claimant, we allow them 10 to 14 days to respond with evidence that they have taken court action against you. Now I'm going to press fucking play.
Martin had made a comment on his video and I was confused. So he pointed me to Outback's Live and then or a video of Outback's Live that you were on, Claire. And I'm just going to say this now. I usually miss Outback's Lives because they are literally upside down from me. And
the times. Yeah.
So I didn't hear what was said. So then when I saw it, it was kind of confusing.
Sorry.
So I'm messaging Claire and she's getting it all straightened out. But then, we're all seeing people questioning things and it's frustrating. It's frustrating, for everybody because you hear things from second, third, fourth hand, So we just thought maybe it would just be better if you explain it instead of, hey, you explained to me what everything meant. Okay, cool. I can go out and tell everybody, but why can't you just do it yourself? So, so I can just ask you, well, my question was because of what was said on Outbacks that, there was the court, you had made a comment and
hold on.
Martin
but remember folks, it's okay because she showed her cousin's dental records to the lawyers and they verified everything, so don't she knows exactly what she's talking about. Boom, salty bitch.
Her dental records, it was a fucking utility bill.
I was being even more suspicious saying her dental records and fucking
something with her address. Something with her address.
You and I are not vibing as hot as we used to be. I think that this is just not going to work out. It really isn't.
I'm going to press play. That's okay. I've been lying this whole time. I never liked you anyway.
Press play. Come on. This is so stupid.
Judgment. I think it was judgment or something.
The judgment,
YouTube. So can you explain exactly what's going on with that to everybody?
Right. Well, I explained a bit on Outbacks what I was doing, why I was going through the Intellectual Property Office because it's quicker. I explained that process on there. If anybody wants me to go through it again, I can just ask.
Can you give a rough overview of that really quick right now?
Yeah.
People maybe like me, they may not have saw his live.
Yeah. Okay. So it's the same with small claims, but the Intellectual Property Office specifically deals with trademarks and copyrights in this country.
So big fat lie number one.
They only deal with that, and there's a 3-tier system of how to go to court and get a judgment. You can go through, which is the small claims track, which is what I'm doing.
That would be the enterprise court.
For anything that's valued under £500. And then the second tier, which the IPO does, but also files in the court, is for up to 10 or 15,000. And then the top tier, which you've got to file directly into the court, you can't go through the Intellectual Property Office, is for more monetary, to receive more money from.
So again, to be clear, the Intellectual Property Office does not deal with anything copyright at all. What she said about the small tract, she obviously looked a little bit into this because that mentioning of the small tract, she needed to go through the Intellectual Property Enterprise Small Tract. That's not the Intellectual Property Office at all. And in order to do that, it was for claims under £10,000, not under £500.
From them. But that's why I've done this one, because it's not about money. It's about getting a piece of paper that says this man can't use these photos. So that's why I've gone through the IPO, and they use the courts. They still use the court, but they use the court and tribunal system, which just makes it quicker. If I worked out the estimated damages of how much money he'd made with the photos over the period of time, it would have taken us into the top top category, and then you're looking at anything, you're looking at least 6 months before to file something properly. So that's the reason. Go on.
This has the same effect as the other route, but you're not asking for damages.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm not asking for any money. That's why, because it's not about money. It's about just having that piece of paper that says you can't do this.
Right.
So that's why I've done it this way.
And again, I just want to remind people that's not what YouTube was looking for. YouTube was looking for evidence that Claire had taken action. Sorry. What YouTube was looking for was evidence that Claire had taken court action. That's all they needed. Not a piece of paper saying that he can't use those pictures. She just needed something showing that she was taking a.
Sorry, I was muted.
That was a very
or that she was in danger, talking about that IPO, and all of a sudden when we asked Steven to see the IPO again a few days after that, she couldn't do it because, you know, she was in fear for her life, and lawyers told her to shut up. Okay. We took a personal IPO number. God damn it.
And obviously it's a lot quicker because if you got to file into court, you know, you're looking at least 6 months. Okay. So I did that, filed with the Intellectual Property Office for the copyright. It gets processed with them then in their offices, and then they pass it to a judge for a decision. Now, when I spoke to them at the end of last week, Friday, they'd hope to have the decision by Tuesday at the latest.
So this is a magical court case that apparently happens with, in this case, AD not being served. Claire doesn't need to be there. Claire's godson is just going to get some magical judge to just randomly and arbitrarily give them the win. AD doesn't get to defend himself. Nobody's got to be there.
And y'all forget that y'all participated in those live streams, and that y'all were invested in this, and that you were an anti-AD, whatever. That y'all didn't say this shit openly and publicly. And you want nobody to say anything at all, or it was personal to ask for a fucking IPO number. That
I still haven't had it yet. I still haven't heard. So I
making direct phone calls. So not only did she have a direct line to Yar Cohen, who had a direct line to Google AD down the moment he brings Frank or Frankie's name out of his mouth, she's now also got a direct phone line directly to the IPO. I guess her godson that's going to get that judgment. She called. It wasn't there on Friday, but she's hoping to have that judgment where nobody has to go to court and gets to defend themselves whatsoever. Claire doesn't even have to go to court. AD doesn't have to go to court. Hell, he doesn't even have to be fucking served. Fuck off.
That's why I thought, you know, people want to make it into a personal thing because they like the drama of this place. It doesn't have nothing to do with telling the truth in AD. You need to admit that to yourselves. If what you are hearing and seeing right now upsets you, or you pretend to be so outraged that when we come out and tell you the truth and prove it, you do not need to be here at all. Or let's just say you shouldn't have been here in the first place. It wasn't about telling the truth, was it? Or about supporting anybody. If this does not make you angry just a little bit, that you sat in those live streams and those chats and you were waiting, you were asking her questions. Y'all know that she said that she's an open book. She would show you anything. Right? You know, all of these things that you said to her even privately. But as a supporter, watching all these goddamn live streams, having her up on mine, sticking up for her, calling people out for saying that she was a liar. Y'all know this happened. You watched it.
Still sticking
you
up
commented. So don't say these things now. That's why I'm thinking you are here just for the drama and the bullshit. Because if that doesn't upset you, or you want to deny the fact that you watched her and you asked her questions and you said, oh my God, how dare they ask her about her credentials? She is who she says she is, damn it. Y'all know what happened. You're part of this community. You were there, you were part of it, you rolled with it, you vibed with it. This is not personal. It was about something that was very public and she made even more public. But you want to explain why.
She initiated it all from the striking fucking angle, right from the get-go. She took that and ran and struck him all on her own.
And that's whatever this isn't about the channels that aren't making videos now, or they are talking to me, or they're not. It's about people out here in the community that have been here for any length of time. If you are okay saying, yeah, that's right, she did go on that live stream. I did ask her about this, and she said she would say whatever. Yeah. Well, I don't want to admit that. I like my friends here, just like AD subs. They don't want to leave. They like it too much. They like the drama too much. What the fuck else would they have to talk about?
Okay, I'm going to press play.
Got onto YouTube, and when I went through the emails, it said in there that as long as they had the case number and there was intended litigation, then that was enough for them. So just close of business our time yesterday. Can you remember what time it was, Cheryl? Because I was talking to you just as I'd done it.
I honestly don't remember what time.
I can't remember. It was around the afternoon. I forwarded that to YouTube yesterday, the case number, and so they can now check with the IPO that the case is going through.
So she's sent to YouTube the case number that she got from the Intellectual Property Office that doesn't exist because it was the Intellectual Property.
And she couldn't find it when asked about it days later.
Yeah.
So this, oh Jesus, again, it's sickening because you support her so much. We all did. We believed it. And now looking at this, just listening to it is just so fucking sad.
But just listening to this again, even now, obviously all this time later, much kind of calmer, and again, even more in hindsight through the rearview mirror, she just contradicted herself right there. It was about getting the judgment. So which one was it, Claire? Was it about getting the judgment that he can't use his photos that you were getting? Or where you actually said the second time that all YouTube needs is a case number for intended litigation? Because that one was actually true, what you said. But just before that, you said that you were getting, right? You were on the phone calling the IPO office that doesn't even deal with copyright anything to begin with to get that judgment that he can't use the photos when they don't even deal with it in the first place.
And knowing that she said all these things and you're hearing it again, knowing it was all bullshit, that you would still believe that we were wrong for saying anything at all.
Okay, I'm going to press play.
Because y'all agreed with it. Yeah.
Okay, and for those of us that are not creators that don't know all the rules, if I understand it correctly, when somebody counterclaims, so you struck him, he counterclaimed saying you don't have the right basically to do that.
Yeah.
And so then YouTube gives the creator 10 business days to submit something that they are actually, the next step is to go to litigation, some sort of legal route. And so it doesn't say you have to win the legal route. You don't have to show proof that you've got a court judgment. You just have to show proof that you are going that next step. And if you don't within those 10 days, then that strike goes away. But you've now provided them with the court case, which
I have.
We're hoping if YouTube follows their own rules, that would be good enough, right?
Yep. According to their terms of service, if the case number is there and there's intended litigation, that is enough for the strikes to stand.
Okay, so just really quick, I'm going to pose this to everybody that, is still on the fence about these strikes and that something was done or not done right, or it's all YouTube's fault. So she had said, I can't remember exactly, at one point she said there were 7 or 8 strikes on that one channel, and I think she said there were some more that were still being looked into. So if what she said is right, and it is, that's what YouTube wants. If what she submitted to them was exactly what she said she submitted, why did all those strikes go away?
Yep. Why did Alan, and I'll fucking say it, why did he, in fucking ridiculous streams of his, why was he so insistent on asking Claire and Frank to retract them? Because he knew nothing had been sent. He knew. he fucking knew that Claire hadn't submitted shit or whatever she said.
Yeah. That's how elaborate it was. Come on, damn.
Yeah, but again, I'm posing this to people who still are questioning it, even if YouTube didn't follow their own rules and guidelines and all that. There were over 10 strikes.
More than that.
Well, I know. I'm just being based on, I think the last time that she said anything, I thought she said something like 7 or 8 with a few more pending, blah, blah, blah. So there were over 10. YouTube's fucked up a lot, but you can't tell me that if she submitted quote unquote a court case number for pending court action, like you heard her just say that that's what she did, not all those strikes would have went away. They wouldn't have. So
they were dropping off one by one as time was passing.
One by one, and he was doing a fucking countdown. When he was saying we're gonna have the Blue Channel back by next week, we were all going, why does he think that? Why does he even think that? And Claire was saying, I don't know. He's an idiot. He's
bluffing. He's a fucking poker player. He's fucking bluffing.
Right. So my other question is, because I'm not a creator, is if he's getting the strikes back or strikes removed one by one, since she submitted those strikes, wouldn't she be getting notification? Hey, that strike that you put on him, we've removed that. You don't do they notify you of that?
Yeah.
So she knew that those strikes were being dropped one by one. And again, I firmly believe they were, because that's
she should know that when she pulled up that stuff on the private StreamYard, it showed how you weren't sending them any information. Info needed. Info needed.
Oh, what?
More info.
Wait, say that again. What?
In one of the streams, she pulled up the creator studio that basically shows that whole list of all the strikes.
Showed everything.
One column where literally at one point it was every single one. It was YouTube looking for more info needed, more info needed, more info needed. Why would more info be needed when, if she submitted the proper, all the strikes were submitted. She struck him on the same basis for every strike.
In addition to the fact that she would be getting emails as the strikes were being removed, but before
issued,
before that, she was getting emails saying, "Okay, we need more info than what you submitted."
Well, basically,
are you serious?
Basically, I think probably at that point, the more info they wanted is whatever. If she did submit anything, and at that point, she's probably not submitted anything. But what she may have tried to submit, that wasn't it. But again, let's not forget the intellectual.
She didn't admit shit. She didn't submit shit. I'm sorry.
She needed to go through the intellectual property enterprise small court process, not the intellectual property office where her godson works. That was going to expedite a magical judgment where AD doesn't have to go to court, Claire doesn't have to go to court and speak on behalf of Frank. It's just all magically going to be a winning judgment for Claire on Frank's behalf.
To answer your question, Welsh lady, yes. Frank does own the copyright to those. It's just basically the way that it was handled was incorrect. And again, I think I said this on another live. Even, a lawyer, copyright, we've talked about this before, that copyright litigation is really complex, especially now with
it's very tricky. Stuff. Yeah, it really is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I wouldn't in a million years expect even a practicing attorney in any other part of, I don't want to say field. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's really late and I'm tired. But unless they worked with copyright, they wouldn't actually know those laws. But as an ex-attorney, as a retired attorney, I would think that the due diligence to look into stuff would just come natural, because that comes natural for a lot of people in general. But a retired attorney.
Don't ask me for the IPO number. I got to go get my wisdom tooth pulled, and I'll be gone for a couple of days.
Well, and again, when it finally came push to shove for me, and my going over the fucking edge of the fucking cliff moment was when I went to look for myself finally to find out what the fuck was going on. It took me fucking 20 minutes to 30 minutes to find out the process she should have actually have gone through, and what she should have been doing, and what she said that she was doing is all fucking made up bullshit. And I've never tried to say that I'm a retired lawyer, a solicitor of any kind. I've got no law background whatsoever. So me as a fucking simpleton that can pull it up.
You're like, okay.
She could have taken half an hour, 20 minutes of her time off one of those lives and all those days that she was at home doing whatever and looked online. And again, there was a couple points where she says a couple things that almost sound like she sort of looked into it. But again, the follow through, it didn't happen.
And if we're wrong about this, why wouldn't she have showed you? And even if she didn't want to show you then, even if she shows somebody else and it's not even us, because at this point she can't stand us, which I wouldn't blame her, show somebody else that could come out and talk about it. Just again, I'm kind of almost begging, please prove us wrong. I mean,
prove us that you sent somebody to anybody to get anything verified, and that the 18th person over here, cousin, far removed or whatever, saw it last weekend at the Go-Go Bar. But you can't show it to the people that you were talking to publicly right here. Just an IPO number. Hey, what's up with that? I'm scared. They're threatening me. Bye.
So I just want to show this one last clip, Sam, that I've attempted to share. It's only 2 minutes, but this is a second explanation out of Claire's mouth, explaining her IPO nonsense.
Oh, do I need to put some up?
Well, I've shared it. You got to approve it.
Sorry.
I'm trying to be Moneypenny. You're making me fail. You're setting me up for failure, damn it.
Shut up. I'm mad and jealous right now.
All right, I'm going to press play.
And brainwashed. Don't forget you're brainwashed. You're mad, jealous,
and brainwashed.
I'm a pathetic brainwashy. That's me, apparently.
I found out that you were a sex voodoo witch. You don't want me to tell people, and that's why I'm brainwashed. I'm not going to be quiet.
Okay, I'm pressing play.
Right. So the IPO, court, instead of going through court to get a copyright, to get a judgment on the copyright, I've used the IPO, which is the Intellectual Property Office. Basically, it's like it is with claims, the small claims court. If you only want to get money back that's under £500, which is, I've done it that way because it's not about the money, it's about getting the judgment. Then you can go through the IPO, the Intellectual Property Office, and they use the Her Majesty's Courts and Tribunal Service judges. The IPO,
Sorry, I didn't mean to pull that back. I meant to pause it for a second. I just want to say, and again, I want to just stress, again, the Intellectual Property Office, they just offer advice. They're not a court for anything, patents, copyrights, anything at all. They are not a court of any kind. So there's that about the Intellectual Property Office. Not only do they not deal with copyright administration, anything to do with copyright, they're not even a court of any kind. So there was that. Now I'll try and go back where we were.
Which is the Intellectual Property Office. Basically, it's like it is with claims, a small claims court. If you only want to get money back that's under £500, which is, I've done it that way because it's not about the money, it's about getting the judgment. Then you can go through the IPO, the Intellectual Property Office, and they use the Her Majesty's Courts and Tribunal Service judges to see the cases, so it hasn't got to wait in the system for like 6 months. So I've done it that way. Friday I spoke to the IPO and they said that they were hoping for a judgment no later than Tuesday. But as of this morning, there is no judgment yet. So yesterday, I spoke to the Intellectual Property Office again, and they said that YouTube normally only needs proof that there is litigation, that there is going to be litigation. So when I went back and checked the emails, it was right. So I sent YouTube the actual court case number and the email I had from the Intellectual Property Office. That have gone to them. So now it's down to YouTube. the ball is in YouTube's court.
Well,
Is that everything? Did I explain that right? Sorry, I've taken my nighttime tablet, so I might be a bit spotty.
What the fuck ever.
Yep. So she sent to YouTube.
Did she ever give you? Did y'all get to see the IPO number, Kim, and all that? Did y'all see that? Did y'all get to see the emails from YouTube? It's pretty standard. She was talking about publicly. If so, can you forward them to me, maybe? Huh?
That's all I ever
do that?
wanted to see, this IPO number that she sent to YouTube. That's all I've ever
She
asked.
said they gave it. Did any of you see it? Is my point. You can't verify shit. That's why I said I never want to hear that word of you. Because ultimately it comes down to, oh, well, yeah, I saw it. No, you saw it. No,
She
wait.
got the IPO.
Didn't you see it there?
Number
No.
for a judgment or pending litigation from the Intellectual Property Office that doesn't even deal with anything court. They're not a court of any kind.
She said these things. You heard it then. You're hearing it again now. Did she give y'all the IPO number? Did she ever show that to y'all? Yes, obviously it doesn't fucking exist. So the answer is going to be no.
So what if Claire lied?
What does it matter if Claire's lied? Okay. Why does it interfere with our morals? Why does it interfere with what we feel?
What does it matter if Claire's lied? Why does it interfere with our morals? Why does it interfere with what we feel? Old Lies Be Told proudly boasts. Well, Val, I sure as hell am not, never have been, nor ever will, or want to be part of your collective we group of misfits. And I use the term we in massive air quotes. So if we were to go with your outrageous crazy cakes logic, then Val, what does it matter if AD's lied? Why does it interfere with our morals? Why does it interfere with what we feel?
What does it matter if Claire's lied? Okay. Why does it interfere with our morals? Why does it interfere with what we feel?
Okie dokie. So let's really put into perspective once more the whole so what if Claire lied of it all. So let's go back, way back. Well, not that far back, but we're going to go back to, I know certain people would love to memory hole, just this past July 17th, 2025, when Mr. Justice Nicklin issued that seal order in the High Court that was dealing with Frankie's or Cohen Davis's threat for demanding exemplary damages. A reminder, Judge Justice Nicklin ordered that if the claim for exemplary damages is to be pursued, then the defendant is entitled to defend himself against a claim for said remedy. That was in the sealed order dated July 17th, 2025. Now, it was only a mere 4 days after that order that Cohen Davis emailed the High Court and AD with the following. Pursuant to paragraph 3B of the July 17th, 2025 order from Judge Justice Nicklin, Cohen Davis confirms that the claimant, Frankie, will not be proceeding with his claim for exemplary damages. So that High Court itself recognized that there was no evidence to justify exemplary damages. And seeing as no actual documents and or records were ever produced, let alone submitted from Cohen Davis, there was never any tangible proof of any type of profit, loss, or harm produced, let alone was friggin' submitted. Now, Frankie's lawyers relied on, get ready, folks, Cohen Davis relied on second-hand hearsay material instead of actual direct proof. Cohen Davis's entire evidential basis for their exemplary damages, it turned out to be a written secondhand hearsay statement that was submitted by one of Cohen Davis's own staff members, but, and a big mother effing but, that written statement, as I said, it was secondhand hearsay. It wasn't even firsthand evidence. That secondhand hearsay evidence was based on information by it was information submitted by Yupper Duppers Puppers, Clair fucking Morgan, the non-lawyering liar. But so what if Claire lied?